When it comes to N64 puzzle games, there are a few obvious titles which spring to mind. Tetrasphere, Wet Tricks and Buster Move are all fantastic puzzlers which helped really fill the gap between arcade races and platform games on the console. Not wanting to be left behind, Kemco published Charlie's Blast Territory in 1999, which was developed by Real-Time Associates, and it offered a truly unique, albeit unusual game which was made in conjunction with puzzle game expert Scott Kim. The easiest way to describe this game is as a heavily puzzled version of Bomberman. Although instead of playing as an ever popular, cool and classic Bomberman, you get to play as an overweight, goofy looking demolition expert. The storyline of the game sees you taking control of Charlie and working your way through over 60 levels to take down the King of Industries dams, which block the 6 rivers of the Rainbow Valley. The game is in 3D and sees you push, pull and blow up objects on the polygonal playfield. The camera will automatically switch to give you the best point of view of the action, but thankfully you can adjust this on the fly should you choose to. Now, like all good puzzle games, it starts off simply and has a fantastic difficulty curve. Whilst the chimpanzee could probably pull off the first few levels with relative ease, things do become progressively harder as you work your way through the game, and begin to take on more intricate puzzles which require you to perform ever increasing levels of skill. Essentially, you must detonate bombs and TNT crates so that after the explosion there are no crates or bombs left on the screen. Do this and on to the next level you go, but this can often involve you needing to line up a chain reaction of explosions, which is where your brain will really start to take a pounding. Add to this traps and enemies which will occur throughout the game, and new explosives which you will have access to, such as the electro bombs and auto detonators, and there really begins to be a great level of depth for those who give the game enough time to get past what appears to be a fairly simple puzzler from the start. On the downside, for such a straightforward concept, the visuals are really disappointing. The backgrounds are very barren, and whilst the level of graphics do the job, it lacks a certain level of polish and style. I was also let down by the effects in the game. For a game which is all about explosions and demolition, the explosions are terrible and consist of a couple of frames of sprite-based animation with little else. Buster Move did prove that you didn't need stellar graphics to have a good puzzle game on the console, but rather than needing to have better graphics in Charlie Blast Territory, I just felt like they could have had them fairly easily. My biggest complaint in the game, however, is the controls. Whilst I am pleased you have the choice to either use the D-pad or the analog stick as the movement is square based, you'll often find that you're not stopping exactly where you want to. This is more annoying for the pushing and pulling of blocks. Rather than having a button to press when you want to push or pull a block, the designers instead chose for you to simply walk into a block to start moving it. When this is combined with the imprecise movement and controls, you'll often find that you can move a block just a little too far, which has ruined your chain reaction plans and killed off any chance of completing the level. The audio in the game, like the graphics, is rather disappointing. There are no catchy tunes or songs which play, and whilst in the puzzle games you don't often want any distractions, here is a game which has music but is so poor you'll try not to notice it. The explosions I mentioned could have looked better, and they also could have sounded better too. They are very muffled and often sound like a rumble of bass, and that's all. It would have been awesome to have had chain reaction explosions gradually getting louder as the ground starts to fall away, but you have more of a sensation from the rumble pack than anything the game provides in the sound department. So is Charlie Blast Territory a game that you should rush out to pick up? Certainly not, but for those who enjoy a slow-paced puzzle game where you have the chance to plan your moves instead of rushing, then this could be the gem that you've been waiting for. Now, it's not a hidden gem by any means, but if you invest enough time in it, then you will find a game that's as challenging as anything else on a console. And my only worry is that the fiddly controls may put you off long before you come to appreciate this unique and quite obscure game. Now, I know my long-time subscriber Teary-Eyed Anderson is a fan of this game, and you can check out his long play of the entire game. But I'd also love to know if any of you picked this up back in the day, as it would have certainly been an unusual choice. As always, let me know your thoughts, opinions and comments in the section down below, and until next time.